They told us these were just stories, whispers carried through generations, tales meant to entertain the young and comfort the old. But ancient voices do not fade so easily. What if the myths were not just stories, but memories? Memories of forgotten kingdoms, of gods who walked among mortals, of battles carved into the bones of the earth. Listen closely, the past is speaking again. This is echoes of the gods in the dawn of time, when the earth was still young and humanity was just learning to speak its name. A shadow fell from the heavens. It wasn't the shadow of a cloud, nor the coming of night. It was something more, something divine. High above the snow-capped peak of Mount Hermon, the sky trembled. For centuries they had watched, beings of pure light and celestial fire, known in the ancient texts as the Watchers. Their duty was singular, to observe humanity, to guide from a distance, but never ever to interfere. But from their celestial vantage point, they saw the daughters of men. They saw their beauty, their laughter, their fleeting, vibrant lives. And within the hearts of these eternal beings, a new, dangerous desire was kindled. A rebellion was brewing, not of swords and shields, but of passion and longing. Their leader, a brilliant and charismatic angel named Shemiezer, felt this pull most acutely. He gathered 200 of his most powerful brethren. He spoke not of treason against the heavens, but of a new destiny, a new kind of existence where the celestial and the terrestrial could merge. He proposed a pact, an unbreakable oath to be sworn upon the sacred mountain. Together, they would descend, not as guardians, but as participants in the human story. They would taste the ephemeral joys and sorrows they had only ever observed. It was a choice that would forever sever them from the light they once served, a choice that would unleash an age of chaos upon the world. With their oath sworn, they descended. A cascade of falling stars, a storm of fire and light crashing into the mortal realm. Heaven had touched earth, and the world would never be the same. The Watchers did not come empty-handed. They were beings of immense knowledge, architects of the cosmos. As they walked among humans, they began to share secrets that were never meant for mortal minds. The angel Azazel, a master of celestial smithing, taught men the art of war. He showed them how to forge swords from the earth's hidden metals, how to craft shields that gleamed like the sun, and daggers that could drink the moonlight. He taught women the art of adornment, the secrets of cosmetics, antimony, and precious stones, introducing vanity and envy where simplicity once reigned. The Watcher Penemu revealed the forbidden art of writing, giving humanity the power to record lies as easily as truth, to create histories that could be twisted and rewritten. Other Watchers revealed the secrets of sorcery, the cutting of roots for magical potions, the incantations to bind spirits, and the charting of the stars not for navigation, but for divination and the foretelling of dark futures. This infusion of forbidden knowledge was like pouring potent wine into a simple clay cup. Humanity was not ready. The technology they received was a double-edged sword. Knowledge became power, and power corrupted. Brothers turned against brothers, tribes against tribes. The gentle rhythm of early human life was shattered by the clang of newly forged steel and the cries of ambition. This story echoes across cultures. In the ancient tales of Mesopotamia, we hear of the Ikigai, lesser sky gods who, like the Watchers, rebelled against their masters out of toil and desire. They too descended to earth, their actions rippling through human destiny. In the rich spiritual traditions of the Yoruba people of West Africa, we find the Orisha, powerful sky spirits who descend to interact with humanity, bringing both profound gifts and significant challenges, each spirit a master of a specific domain, much like the specialized knowledge of the Watchers. These are not isolated myths. They are fragments of a single, ancient memory, a memory of a time when the veil between worlds was torn and gods walked among us, bringing with them the seeds of our greatest triumphs and our most devastating failures. But the most profound consequence of their descent was yet to come. The Watchers took human wives, a union forbidden by the most sacred celestial laws, and from this impossible joining of divine fire and mortal flesh, a new race was born. They were not angels, and they were not human. They were the Nephilim, giants who walked the earth, their heads brushing the clouds. Their strength was legendary, their appetites insatiable. The earth itself groaned under their weight. At first, they were revered as the children of the stars, demigods whose very presence was a sign of divine favor. But their nature was one of endless consumption. They devoured all the food humanity could produce. When the harvests ran out, they consumed the livestock. When the animals were gone, they turned on each other and then on the very humans who birthed them. The world descended into a nightmare. The Nephilim, these half-divine giants, became monstrous tyrants. Their laughter was the sound of cracking bones. Their games were contests of brutal strength that leveled forests and diverted rivers. The earth became a canvas for their violent whims. The knowledge brought by their fathers, the Watchers, now armed these giants, making them unstoppable. They wielded weapons of immense size and power, waging wars that shook the foundations of the world. The cries of humanity reached the heavens, a desperate plea for salvation from the chaos their former guardians had unleashed. The age of wonder had curdled into an age of terror. The sons of fire had given birth to monsters, and the world was drowning in blood and tears. The very fabric of creation was unraveling, stitch by painful stitch. Up in the heavens, the silence was broken. The archangels Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel looked down and saw the abomination. They saw the defiled earth, heard the tortured screams of humanity, and witnessed the arrogance of the fallen Watchers and their monstrous offspring. They brought the case before the highest authority, the creator of all. The judgment was swift and absolute. The age of chaos had to end. A great cleansing was decreed, a flood to wash the world clean of the Nephilim stain and the Watchers' corruption. But first, the rebels had to be dealt with. A celestial war was declared. The heavens opened up not with gentle rain, but with legions of loyal angels, warriors of light descending to confront their fallen brethren. The sky became a battlefield of fire and fury. The clash was apocalyptic. Imagine lightning bolts as spears, thunder as the clash of shields. The Watchers, powerful in their own right, fought with the desperation of the damned. Azazel, the smith of war, now found his own creations turned against him. Shemiezer, the charismatic leader, saw his dream of a new world burn to ash. The loyal angels, led by the archangels, were relentless. Michael, the great commander, a blur of righteous fury. Uriel, the light of God, illuminating the darkness of the rebels' hearts. Raphael, the healer, tasked with binding the greatest of the fallen. One by one, the Watchers were defeated. They were not destroyed, for they were eternal. Instead, a fate far worse was prepared for them. They were stripped of their power, bound in celestial chains, and cast into the deepest, darkest pits of the earth, imprisoned in total blackness to await the final judgment. Azazel himself was bound hand and foot and cast into the jagged rocks of a desolate desert, a place named Judea. Their rebellion was over. Their fire, once a beacon of forbidden knowledge, was now trapped beneath the earth, a smouldering ember in an eternal prison. With the Watchers imprisoned, their monstrous children, the Nephilim, were left to face their own doom. They were powerful, but they were mortal in spirit. Without the direct guidance and power of their celestial fathers, they were vulnerable. The celestial decree went forth, the giants would be turned against each other. A madness, a thirst for battle, was sown among them. Brother fought brother, clan fought clan in a self-consuming war of annihilation. Their titanic battle scarred the landscape, their roars of agony echoing as they destroyed their own kind. What remained of their race would be swept away by the great flood, their colossal bodies buried under mountains of silt and water, their bones becoming the strange fossils of a forgotten age. Their spirits, however, being neither fully human nor fully angelic, were not granted rest. They were cursed to wander the earth as disembodied, malevolent forces, the demons and evil spirits of later legends, forever hungry, forever thirsting, a plague upon the humanity they once dominated. The age of giants was over, washed away by water and blood. The fire of the Watchers, however, was not entirely extinguished. Their teachings, the forbidden arts and sciences, had taken root in the human soul. The art of writing, of metalworking, of sorcery, these skills survived the flood, carried in the memory of the chosen survivors. The seeds of both creation and destruction were now permanently part of the human experience. Though the teachers were gone, their lessons remained. The echoes of their fire can still be found. We see it in the buried scrolls of Qumran, where the Book of Enoch tells their story in vivid detail. We see it in the ruins of forgotten temples, built with a knowledge that seems far too advanced for its time. We see it in the myths and legends of cultures across the globe, from the Titans of Greece to the giants of Norse lore. These are not just stories. They are the fragmented memories of a cataclysmic event, a time when divine beings walked the earth, loved, rebelled, and nearly brought about our end. The story of the Watchers is a cautionary tale, a powerful reminder that some knowledge comes at a price too high to pay, and that the line between a god and a monster can be terrifyingly thin. Their fire burns on, a hidden spark within our own complex nature. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the mythic past. The tale of the Watchers is a deep and complex one, with threads that connect to countless other legends and beliefs. What do you think? Are these just ancient stories, or could they be the memory of a real, forgotten chapter in our history? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this exploration of forgotten lore, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next episode. Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and look for the echoes of the past that still resonate today.